topic. Okay, now apart from describing object where we need to describe electrical equipment and a vehicle, we also need to prepare a topic on a person, someone that we admire, okay? And then we need to know all the vocabularies related to a person's quality. For example, is this person outgoing, positive outlook on life? If I want to say she's nice, don't say she's nice. Instead, we could say, oh, she's really generous and she's always there when I need her. Okay? Instead of saying she's fun, we could say, oh, she's got a really good sense of humor and I just really enjoy her company, always making me laugh. Okay? Take a simple adjective, describing word, and elaborate it. Try to use a different expression. The next topic that I would want us to prepare is an event, a festival. Okay, it could be Christmas, it could be New Year, it does not matter. It could even be a wedding, because all the festivals, one festival that you prepare, it has to contain some information about the place. Okay, where did they happen? Who did you meet? The people. Talk a bit about the people too. What did you guys actually do during the festival? Okay, and in this case, how would you feel about this festival? Remember, for all the part 2 topics, remember to include about your personal feelings and comments by the end. Now, the next thing is describing an activity. An activity, I recommend my students to prepare a group sport. A group sport, okay? Exactly, just like electrical equipment or vehicle. You may say, but Ellen, I don't really do sport. My hobby is photography. Can I just talk about photography and not group sport? Well, the thing is, you can, but the thing is, if you do a topic on hobby, the examiner will never ask you about, oh, could you please describe photography? They won't do that. The most specific topic they will ask is, could you please describe a group activity? Or could you please describe a sport? Okay? In that case, you have to know something about a group sport. And even if they ask you a hobby, you can still say, oh, my favorite hobby is doing sports. So a group sport is something I highly recommend us to prepare. And describing a place in terms of hometown, okay? We need to know the words, the kind of vocab that's related to your city. 然后这些 vocab 一定要百搭. For example, if you're from Beijing, okay, it's a modern and historical city. 现代并且有文化古迹. But then if I say that, but I could say the same thing about America. I could say the same thing about Sydney, okay? Because all the big cities have histories and they're modern. So we need to use those, we need to know quite a bit of those vocabs that can be used everywhere, okay? And in terms of book, I recommend my students to think of a movie that was adapted from a book. And when you're preparing your topic, think about something you learned from the movie, okay, a piece of advice. Okay, so basically, if we get a question saying, please describe a positive experience, then I could say, you know, the positive experience was when I met a certain person at a certain place. And this person told me a certain advice. So I could use some words from the place, and I could use some words to describe the person from the preparation that we did before. So the first thing, prepare these 6 topics. The next thing we need to do is know how to twist them around. Okay, so basically due to time limitation, we'll stop here today. Now we've briefly covered part 2 and part 1. And as to part 3, they're gonna ask questions based on part 2. And then, any questions now? You can ask me any questions about either part 1, part 2, or part 3. 用中文问也可以, does not matter.
It's better to lie or tell him the truth, because actually telling the truth you can really have something imagination inside of your brain, so it's easier to tell more or to talk more. But sometimes if you really love filling in with the topic, and we just like saying, well, I'm not really experienced about this topic, but I have someone I know, and told me about the story.
Okay, you can actually do that for part 1. You can do that for part 1, but for part 2, you can't really, because normally they won't really ask you very hard topics. Okay, it won't really go outside these 6. So if you carefully prepare these 6, you will be able to cover all questions. And your question is it better to lie or to tell the truth? If you ask me, Ellen, what did you have for breakfast this morning? I would be like, you know, it takes me a while to actually recall, to think. Okay, so in that case, I would just make something up. You know, if it can't immediately pop up your mind, try to make something up. And if you make something up, it has to be based on your preparation. Okay, so that's when preparation really comes to handy. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yeah, so
okay.
Like part 2, for example, you say, a gift that you received the last Christmas or something like this. So we can't say, I didn't have a gift.
Better not
but
to.
But I gave someone a Christmas, like something like about like this.
Yeah, better not to say that. Okay, better just in part 2 try to make something up, even if you haven't received a present. Okay.